Hey y'all, happy Wednesday, my peaceful and profitable entrepreneurs. Apologize, I'm a couple minutes late today. I just got off of a meeting and had to go get more water. But happy Valentine's Day. It was yesterday, but I would love to hear what y'all did. Did y'all do anything special? We do not. Hi, Allison. Thanks for joining. I was just curious, what does everybody do for Valentine's Day? Because I don't like to go out to dinner. When I was in high school, I worked at Applebee's for a short minute and did Valentine's Day there, and I've just never wanted to go out to eat since then. So we did dinner at the house and homemade Valentines and all that. So I just love to hear if y'all do anything big or fun. Let me know. But today's really good conversation, and I have to just look at the title because I write these weeks in advance. I always forget. But today's conversation is 3 things you can do to build a 6-figure business this year. So even if you don't want to build a 6-figure business, or you're like, I just started, 6 figures isn't on my radar, like that's totally okay. These things will still be applicable to you. I just titled it 6-figure business because I've worked with enough business owners to know that a lot of people start and they have good results, and then they get stuck from that 5-figure to 6-figure jump, or 5-figure to multi-6-figure jump. And so that's why I said, building 6 figures this year, because that is what I've seen to be like kind of the harder thing, and not to make a story around it or, say that it always has to be like that. That's not the case, but that is why I titled it this. But even if that's not on your radar, you can still use this. And then also, let's see, if you feel like you're stuck, so go back to last week's conversation. Like that was a really good one that today piggybacks off of last week. But that one was more about like breaking through your revenue plateau and kind of busting through the glass ceiling. And today is more about like raising the floor. So I think these conversations from last week and this week go really well together. So go back, watch the replay if you want to, and they'll just help each other out. So if you're joining, please say hello, leave a comment. We're always doing a giveaway, and that is a 90-minute masterclass for 4 ways to grow your business. So it is very robust. I have it for sale on my website, but I like to give it as a gift. If you join today, anything will get you entered. I really appreciate y'all being here, and just with everything going on in the world, I'm just so grateful to be here, and I love coming here every week. Even though I may be awkward or nervous or whatever, like it's so fun interacting with people and helping people have value, because there's so many things going on, and it's just lucky to be here. So that being said, I have a couple facts, 3 statistics from Forbes, and this is from Forbes February 2023, like current right now. One of them was that e-commerce sales are expected to grow 10.4% in 2023. The U.S. e-commerce market will reach over 1.1 trillion in sales in 2023, and 992 billion was spent on social media commerce in 2020. So I think this is just showing, and I think it's just so helpful to start with those numbers. Online business is only going up. Like there is some serious money to be made in the online space. And that means that it's also getting noisier with more people. So I think while it is great that this market and the online space, we are kind of in our own little bubble, we're in our own little micro economy, but it is also noisier and there's more people out there. So, there's also the light and the shadow side of it. So there's just so much room for growth. And I think we're just really privileged to be in this online market. I love it. And I really want to give you some tools today that in a crowded market, you can stand out and create 6 figures and beyond. So we're going to walk through the 3 things. I kind of organized them by, my framework: mindset, strategy, organize, implement. So that's how I think of things. And we are going to talk about like some real logistical strategic stuff. So if you're here or catching the replay, please make sure, if you don't understand or want clarification, let me know, or want to give me an example. I'm going to give you examples today, but I want this to be beneficial to you. So if you want to just throw out your business, or want some like brainstorming around it, just feel free to do that, and we'll do that together here or on the replay. So the first thing is getting locked in on your mindset and working it till it works. So this is one of those things that I know it's such an easy eye roll, but really getting locked in and deciding is the first step. And I know everybody wants to just hear the strategy or, you know, the 1, 2, 3 thing or the special spreadsheet, but like literally getting sold on your business and making it work till it works is like the first thing. Because it's so easy to think it's not working, even when it's working. Like just because we don't see the results right away, we think it's not working. And when we do that, we are losing momentum because we are going for something else. So like if I implement a strategy and a strategy takes 60 to 90 days to really gain momentum and gain traction, those first few months are hard and it sucks and it's hard to stay in it. And so that's where I really want you to get locked in on your strategy and figure out like what you're going to go all in on and then decide. And this is the piece that I'm like supporting clients with so much. It's like, okay, we pick the strategy. That's kind of the easy part. The hard part is staying with it. And so that's what I really want you to focus on and get your mindset around. So we are going to talk about the strategy pieces. So when you decide on your strategy, get really sold on it and know that so many times it's not working until it is. Like it wasn't working, but all of a sudden you build up that momentum, you have that pop moment and it works. I always like to watch my thoughts like a hawk, and this is something no matter what stage of business you're in. Like I've been in business for 7 years. I have a multi 6-figure business. I pay myself very well, but watching my mind like a hawk is one of my biggest priorities. And partially because I have this strategy set up. Like I have people, you know, contact me all the time. They're like, oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to sign up for this? Do you want to advertise in this? And I'm like, no paid advertising. I only do organic. I don't have time to go to like a ton of networking events. Like I know my strategy and I'm sticking to it, and I'm putting basically blinders and earmuffs on for everything else. So I think really watching your mindset, and you know, if you see those thoughts come up that aren't serving you, or they're telling you you're doing it wrong, or Susie Q over there is doing this and maybe I should try this, like really watch those thoughts and get clear on like, that doesn't serve me, I'm going to choose a new one. And I kind of think of like, what is it, Lucy? Oh, I didn't watch the show. I Love Lucy. This is how bad it is. But I have this vivid memory of her and her friend like working in a candy factory, I guess, and then the candy's going down the conveyor belt and they mess up something and they're just like shoving all the chocolates in their mouth so that like no one knows that they messed up or something. And I think of it like that. Like we don't have to like shove all the chocolates in our mouth with all of these thoughts that just come up. Like we literally get to choose them. So that is just the first thing I always want to go to with this, is that like every strategy out there works. Your job is to, you know, get really clear on your mindset, because, you know, you work it and you stay in it until it works, which kind of feeds into the next one. But, you know, I literally have a notebook. It's very cute. It's blue. And this is where I write down just simple things that are working in my business, so that I can look back and have like pages of stuff of like, hey, you know, either like a client win or feedback or just like how miraculously something happens. It's pretty much all business, but sometimes I put like non-business stuff in there, just to show like how much the universe is on my side and how much it's working for me, and just all that stuff, which I know can be so woo and so like eye roll and like, Jordan, you're like a left brain CPA, but like literally like I can talk strategy all day with somebody, but like if they aren't sold on it, if they aren't going all in on their mindset, then they are literally going to be like looking for the next thing, the next shiny ball thing. So that's what leads into number 2 of pick your strategy and stick to it. So there's a million strategies out there and they all work. Like if you work it, it'll work. So I'm just such an advocate of that because it is so easy, and it's what I see business owners waste so much time and so much money on. Is like, okay, I just started a strategy. I've been doing it for a month. It doesn't feel like it's working. So now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to learn about email funnels, or now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to try LinkedIn, or I'm going to go over here and reels are going to be my thing. And it's like, those things all work, but it works for the people that like go all in 100%. And it's not like, okay, every day I'm like, okay, where am I going to sell? How am I going to sell? It's like these are my platforms. This is where I am. This is where I'm showing up, and I'm going all in on it. So even if you feel like it isn't working, stick to it, because just like exercise, like, okay, I'm really excited. Next month I'm starting a Pilates class on a reformer, and I'm really excited about it, and I would love to see results after like the first thing. That would be great to have like a 6-pack, and for like my pants to feel a little bit looser, but like that's just not reality. Like, what is it like? I'll probably feel the results first after going for a little bit or a few times. Then other people might notice, and then 60 or 90 days later my clothes will start fitting looser or whatever. Like, it doesn't happen immediately for fitness. It doesn't happen immediately for sports. Like, lately I've been wanting to like, okay, I need to like have a fun hobby, like to a point in my life where I've given everything to my kids, I've given everything to my business. Like, what's a fun hobby for me? So thinking about stuff, and like I could go out and like take tennis lessons and buy a tennis racket, or I'd really actually like to try some tap dancing, so I'd buy shoes for that, and then maybe start doing lessons for that. Or maybe I want to be a runner, whatever that looks like. But if you're constantly like bouncing around to all those different hobbies, like, you're going to spend a lot of money, you're going to spend a lot of time, and you're not going to really go all in on any of them. So, those are just two examples of analogies outside of business, because I think it can be so easy to see it there, and it's just so much harder in business. And then also thinking about like looking at the trajectory. So every business has ebbs and flows, up months and down months. So just really making sure that you're looking at your numbers and that the trajectory is going up. Because I know with my clients, we look at each month individually, but I also love to look at a quarter at a time and, the past year, because it's just so helpful to see like, yeah, it feels really low this month, and maybe it is lower than last month, but look how far we've come. So that's what I want to say about that. So now we're going to talk about really strategic stuff that I don't know if people know this or not, or whatever, but I feel like there's no template for a business, and obviously I believe in building a business your way and doing it your way, and there's no secret formula, but these are a few things that I do think are super helpful when you are trying to build a 6-figure business. And at first it's going to sound like they contradict each other, so stay with me, and if you need clarification, let me know. But they actually go together really well. So you're going to want to create low, medium, and high offers. When someone buys from you once, they're more likely to buy from you again. And what we are eventually doing, which sounds like the opposite, is we are trying to get them into a high ticket offer. So that is what we're selling. We're selling the high ticket offer. So that sounds contradicting, because I'm saying, low, medium, and high offers, but we're selling the high ticket. So just hang with me for a minute. Let's say you are a website creator, you create websites. So your low ticket offer, let me get up my notes again, is going to be, this is just going to be an example. I'm just riffing here. So if you want to put in your business or your idea, let me know. But you know that the high ticket offer is like the recurring revenue you have every month from maintaining their stuff, and just staying with them for the long term, because you have a monthly recurring revenue, and then over the year that adds up to like however much money. And really having that high ticket base rate offer is what helps you, like, okay, you get full with that, and then you can kind of scale to the next thing. So that's why I say that we're going all in on the high ticket offer. But for someone who just follows you on Instagram, for them to jump into this high ticket offer and sign up to work with you month after month after month, like, that's just a really big jump. So that's why I'm saying do the low, medium, and high offers. So maybe the low offer is like a free assessment of your website, or maybe the low offer is just like a free tool that you can use that I hand you, or just whatever that conversation would be. So that is the low ticket offer. And then the medium one is, okay, so I did an assessment of your website, and now we're going to do a refresh of it. So you're hiring me for one thing, one job. We do the free call, we do the free assessment, and then I upsell you on the, one-time 1 week offer where I refresh your website. So that's an easy yes for them. They've built that relationship with you, you've given them value, and then you kind of upsell, and that low ticket offer, that free offer, feeds into the next step. And so you do that, one time, work with them, maybe it lasts a week or a month or whatever that looks like. So they have a great experience with that. They trust you with that. So that's when you can feed into maybe the higher ticket of, every, month we're paying this and every month I'm doing this work. And so you're kind of walking them through. So each step along the way is an easy, next step for them. Like, okay, they can see the value that you've already given, and now you're giving more in a new way. And it just makes, okay, now I'm actually going to pay her, and now we're actually going to sign up for this monthly, package that goes on and on. And so that's kind of the stair steps I want you to see. So, when you're looking at creating 6 figures, we really want to get sold on that higher ticket offer, and then get booked out with that first. Like before you're going off and you're like, oh, and now I'm going to create a course, or now I'm going to go do this. Like, find that fundamental one offer that you can just get locked in on and go all in on, and fill that up first, because that's going to give you the revenue to really branch out and do other things. So that's why I'm all about selling that one high item. And we'll go through another example, but really thinking about okay, how do I make it easy for people to say yes, and for my offers to feed into each other? And then that all leads to the one big ticket item that I'm selling and working on getting filled up. So another example is maybe an online VA, virtual assistant, or OBM. Let me get my mouse. And so this is kind of the same thing. So, if you are a VA or an OBM, maybe there is someone out there who's like, yes, this is what I want. I want this really big package every month. And yeah, I just want to make sure we're a fit. That does happen. Maybe it happens. But if not, it's someone who's like, oh, I'm kind of thinking about it, so let me have this free call with a VA or an OBM, or maybe you have a free template or some kind of free tool that you give them. And then on the back end of that is okay, so maybe you have one project you want put together, or maybe I'm going to create a Canva, graphic suite for you, or whatever that looks like. I'm trying to think what else they would give you as a one-time thing. I'm trying to think, any kind of documented systems and processes. Okay, I'm going to give you, we'll sit down with your business for a day and we'll look through this and we'll document all your systems and processes. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. We're talking about strategy. So I'm giving an example of a VA. So the low ticket item is the free call or the free tool, and then you kind of upsell to the medium offer, which is a one-time thing of, okay, we're going to do this together, we're going to document your systems and processes, we're going to get you a bunch of graphics that you can use in your content, whatever that is. Have them have a good experience, and then that feeds into your higher ticket and every month on an ongoing basis, we charge this amount and we do all these things for you and your business. So you're really wanting to get them to that higher ticket monthly recurring revenue piece, but it just takes those low, medium steps to get there. So I know, Sarah, you just jumped in, but let me know if you have any questions, because in order to really get to 6 figures, the goal is to fill up your high ticket offer and book that out, but it does take the low and the medium size offers for that. So I know they sound conflicting because we really want to only sell the high ticket offer, but the low and the middle offer have to feed into that. So that's the strategy piece of this, and just going back to making it easy to say yes, making it so that they have a great experience. And they know you, they like you, they trust you. They, probably are going to buy from you if they've bought from you once and they had a great experience. So, and maybe it's not a sale now, maybe they don't book that high ticket offer. right now at this moment. Maybe a month or a year from now they do, but we're really wanting to build clients now and clients later. So it kind of works either way. It's just going back to the mindset piece of playing the long-term game and knowing that like I always have people in my pipeline, even if they're not buying from me right now. They've had a great experience. They got some great a great experience, whether it was free or a low ticket item, and then just trusting that like I'm still staying consistent with them, I'm still giving value, even if it's not directly one-to-one. And so one day when they are ready for that next step, like you'll be the first person. But going back to that full high ticket offer, if anybody wants to jump in and ideate on what theirs is, but it's really so much easier once you have that high ticket offer kind of on lockdown, or at least like a process for that on lockdown. Obviously, if someone leaves, it's pretty easy to fill them back in. That way you can add team and other support, and you know that you have that reliable revenue set up so that you can go out and like try a group program or try some other kind of service that's new. So that is what I really encourage anyone to do, is figure out that high ticket offer, figure out the monthly recurring revenue that you can create, and feel free to drop it here, or we can ideate together if you're like, I don't really know what that is for me, because I want this to be like an easy thing for you. But really the monthly recurring revenue and knowing how to generate that on repeat is just huge for creating a six-figure business. So let me know if you have any questions. I had a meeting, like a couple meetings before this, and my voice is just like, oh. So number 3 is sell daily. And I know it sounds so simple, and it is, but literally like that is something I challenge all my clients to do, is to have one daily sales action. Like it is great to go create a strategy, do some projections on a spreadsheet, let's run some numbers, what could this be? But literally it just comes out to like, do the damn thing over and over and over, and then take that data that you have from it and use it. So, I say pick it and stick it with a strategy, and that doesn't mean like, oh, just go in it blindly, don't look back, just put blinders on and go, which we do kind of want to put blinders on when it comes to mindset. But, for the strategy, if we're doing something over and over and over, we want to start using that data. So something I like to work with people is, where can we test and tweak, or where are people falling off? So you have this strategy and you're going all in on it, and then you're doing that sales action every day, because it's just something I see people get so caught up in. And this kind of goes back to the mindset piece and the strategy piece. It's literally like, you have to do the dang thing over and over and over and over, because something I say in business all the time, I can sit here with a pen and let go of it and it's going to drop. But, in business, it's not like action, result. It's usually action, 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 result. And so really making sure that you are doing daily sales actions, because so many people, I see that they have a strategy, but it's like, okay, how often do you sell? And they're like, well, I give value, and then at the end there's a call to action, and I guess that's selling. Like, it literally needs to be a sales action. And it doesn't have to be just in one place. It can be in multiple places. It can look like showing up online one day, another day there's an email, another day you reach out to personal connections, another day you're selling in Facebook groups, like whatever that looks like literally get that, so that every day there's a sales action. And this is when it's like really useful to have that data. So like doing it for 60 to 90 days gives us data, so we can go all in on that strategy and see like, where are people falling off? This really helps us solve the real problem. If you are constantly like changing the verbiage on your website and you're like, oh, the copy isn't good, and no one's buying because I need to rewrite it. But like, if we look at Google Analytics and we're like, no one's going to your website, then like you can change it 100 times a day and it won't matter if no one's going there. So that's what I really like to use the data. And it just depends on what you're selling and what your business is, like which data we use. But I think it's just so helpful, and that's something I talk about all the time, like branding photos, redoing their website. Like nothing is wrong with any of that, but like if people aren't looking at your post, if people aren't going to your website, like none of that matter, like how pretty it is. Like we need to get the traffic there. How do we get the traffic there? So thinking about like what the problem is, if you think of your sales process, like, do you need more warm leads? Do you have people falling off after they've kind of warmed up and had that free low ticket offer with you? Are they not renewing after a certain amount of time? Like looking at that process and seeing like where people are falling off, I think is so helpful. And again, you need that sales data. You need the daily action of selling. And then a lot of people think that they're selling daily. And it's just like, again, a call to action or not something very specific because it is uncomfortable. And this goes back to the mindset piece. And this goes back to what I support a lot of clients in, is looking at their sales, copy. And it's like, okay, well, I sold in this email and no one bought. And it's like, well, first of all, you did one email. Second of all, let me see your copy. And not from like a shame or a bad thing, but like we always underestimate ourselves. We kind of hide. We don't really share our magic as much. And so that's part of my job and working with people is to like, okay, give me some more detail here. Or yeah, but you have this much experience or your clients have these results, like weaving that into everything is so important with the sales post because we are so quick to just like, not give ourselves enough credit. And that's actually going to be our masterclass at the end of the month is really making sure you're speaking to your magic and shining. But making sure your sales posts are true sales posts. And this kind of goes back to consistency. So we want the momentum to carry you. So you have to have that strategy that you're sticking to because if you're not consistent, it doesn't feel good to sell because you're not providing that even exchange of energy. So it's so important to, provide that value consistently so that you can sell and it not be like icky or sleazy. It's like literally I've shown up here every day. I've given amazing value. And so now I can sell. So that's just something, that goes in with the picking the strategy and being, consistent because it's really hard to sell every day if you're not doing that stuff and you're kind of just showing up in Facebook groups and like selling your stuff and then piecing out. Like that's just not really how it works. Like you wouldn't walk into a networking group and just throw your business cards everywhere and then run out. Like that's not how it works. We're real humans. We have to connect as humans. We have to show up and provide that value, earn people's trust to be able to sell. So, this is also why I offer my free consistent content for consistent 5-figure months call because getting consistent with your audience is like the first thing. It does give you the ability to sell. It does give you the ability to have that data to use to know how you need to test and tweak your strategy. So I have people recently reaching out to me asking if I helped with Facebook ads and I'm like, let's talk because you don't even do organic marketing. So like there's so much you can do with organic marketing first before you reach for like Facebook ads that cost a lot of money and it takes a lot of time like any strategy to implement. So this is why I'm so adamant about the consistent free call. I'll drop the link below because if you're sitting here and you're like, Jordan, this all sounds great, but like I don't know how to sell daily or I don't know what my strategy is or I don't know, what my low, medium, and high ticket offer would be. Like, that's great and all, but like, I need these basic things. Like, that's why I offer this call. That's why I'm so passionate about it. So we'll go over the things and I'll drop the link below after this. But, the 3 things, and the first one is mindset. Watching your mind like a hawk and staying in it and getting support to stay in it. If, you're doing it and it's not working or it doesn't feel like it's working. Got a rainbow on my head. I'll just leave it there. My prism, I feel like I'm in Pollyanna with my prisms. But really, making sure your mindset is on lockdown. Number 2 is picking your strategy. So picking it, figuring out your, high ticket offer that you're really going to go all in on, and then having the low and medium offers feed into that. We don't want them to compete. We want them to feed into that. And then the third thing is to make sure that you are doing a daily sales action. So, again, I love sharing this with you and I think it's just so beneficial and so many people just don't realize, that jump to six figures can just be doing these three things. It's literally what I've done and what I support clients to do. But if you're like feeling overwhelmed and just feels like, I don't know where to start, I got you. Book the free call. That's what it's there for. I love doing these. So unless there are any questions or comments, I'm going to hop off. I'll see y'all next week. And thanks again for joining. Bye.